melting snow of Ontario, where the wind will make you shiver, was the month of May in the Georgian Bay, in the mouth of the Musquash River, where the bears prowl and the coyotes howl. You can hear the osprey scream. Back in '99 we were cutting pine and sending it down the stream. Young Sandy Gray came to go home Bay all the way from PI, where the weather's rough and it makes you tough and no man's afraid to die. Sandy came a smiling, 30,000 Islands was a place to claim his glory. Now Sandy's gone, but his name lives on, and this is Sandy's story. Sandy Gray lives on today in the echoes of a mighty yell. Now listen close and you'll hear a ghost in this story that I tell, boys, in this story that I tell. Sandy Gray was the boss of the men who tossed those trees onto the shore. And they'd come and they'd go till they built a flow 100,000 logs or more. And they'd ride 'em down toward the Severn Sound to cut 'em up in the mills for timber. And the ships would haul spring, summer, and fall till the ice came in December. One Sabbath day, big Sandy Gray came into camp with a peavey on his shoulder. With a thunder crack, he dropped his axe and the room got a little bit colder. He said, "Come all you, we got work to do. We gotta give her all we can give her. There's a jam of logs at the little jog in the mouth of the Musquash River." No time to pray on the Lord's day, they were hoping for God's forgiveness. And the jam was high in the troubled sky as they set about their business. And they poked with their poles and they ran with their rollers and they tried to stay on their feet. No trick they tried and one man cried, "This log jam's got us beat." Sandy Gray was not afraid, and he let out a mighty yell, saying, "I'll be damned, we'll break this jam, or it's breakfast in hell, boys, or it's breakfast in hell." Now every one of the men did the work of 10. Sandy scrambled up to the top. He was working like a dog, heaving 30-foot logs, and it looked like he never would stop. And they struggled on, those men so strong, until the jam began to sway. And they dove for cover in the banks of the river, all except for Sandy Gray. With thoughts of death, they held their breath as they saw their friend go down. 'Cause they all knew in a second or two he'd be crushed or frozen or drowned. And they saw him fall and they heard him call just once, and then it was over. Big Sandy Gray gave his life that day in the mouth of the Musquash River. Sandy Gray was not afraid, and he let out a mighty yell, saying, "I'll be damned, we'll break this jam, or it's breakfast in hell, boys, or it's breakfast in hell." East of Giant's Tomb, there's plenty of room, there's no fences and no walls. If you listen close, you'll hear a ghost down by Sandy Gray Falls. In the tops of the trees, you can hear the breeze, the echoes of a mighty yell, saying, "I'll be damned, we'll break this jam, or it's breakfast in hell, boys, or it's breakfast in hell." Sandy Gray was not afraid, and he let out a mighty yell, saying, "I'll be damned, we'll break this jam, or it's breakfast in hell, boys, or it's breakfast in hell." Sandy Gray was not afraid, and he let out a mighty yell, saying, "I'll be damned, we'll break this jam, or it's